What's up guys, Steven here, welcome back to another review, and today we're going to have a look at the first bezel-less Chinaphone. Well, actually it's not the first one. There was the Nubia C9 like a year ago, several other smartphones, but this is the first really cheap bezel-less smartphone. So this baby here retails for €165 and you can find a link down below in the description. So this is called the Elephone S3 and you can get it from efogshop.com. So I would say let's check it out to see if it's just beautiful and a piece of crap or if it's really beautiful and powerful. So let's go guys. Alright ladies and gentlemen, so the Elephone S3 comes in the white plastic box which you can see right over here. I will just quickly talk about the specs. So 2.5D, which makes an even screen with very small bezels due to the curve look like bezel-less and curved. So it looks actually pretty awesome and it's a 5.2 inch full HD screen. We have a fingerprint scan on the back side and it's made out of aluminum or aluminium. So I'm actually German, so well, stop that. Okay, I will call it aluminum. Nano injection molding process. That means there are no obvious screws. So it's basically like two parts, you put them together and you put a lot of glue in there and then it's molded. Then we have a high-speed CPU. Doesn't say anything. Well, it's an octa-core processor. It's the MTK6753 mid-range. Big storage. Says a lot, and it's only 30 megapixel. It's actually the IMX 135 if I'm right, but check out the specs down below, and it runs Android Marshmallow, so this is also pretty good. Then here's the smartphone. This is inside the box, a charger which I unfortunately lost, but the phone does not support quick charging. We had a quick look at it on our test setup. Maximum drain was 8 watts from the power socket, and the charging time not really too fast, but also it's a small battery of only 2100 milliamp hours, a bit more than that actually. But the battery size for the phone size in 2016 is actually below than average, and the phone lasted for me only maximum around a day. Maybe if you turn off notifications, 1.5, but that's really the maximum I could get, but depends on your usage. Then it comes with a micro USB cable, no Type-C, so on such a beautiful smartphone, Type-C would be really cool. And the cable, they advertise it as a cable with a ruler. Honestly, who the fuck needs that? But yeah, pretty cool looking smartphone, and here it is, Elephone S3. First of all, the display is the main point. Yeah, I think it's AMOLED. I don't think it's IPS because it has really super nice viewing angles, but I haven't looked into the datasheet, but this is just what I experience when I look at the display, because the colors, they are tasty. Then the display, yeah, as I've told you, bezel-less, because it's 2.5D glass with a screen which has very tiny bezels, so it looks like it would be a bit curved and bezel-less, just like on the Nubia C9. If you have seen my review on it, then you know how it actually looks like. We have softer buttons here on the front and no capacitive touch buttons. Well, softer buttons are not a big deal anymore, but I still don't like them. At the top we have a tiny notification LED, but so far it did only light up when I charge the smartphone, so not if I get any notifications like SMS. We have a front-facing camera, which is 5 megapixel, and we have here light proximity sensor on the speaker. Phone is completely made out of aluminum, and on the bottom side of the frame we have a micro USB port all along with dual speakers, which is actually just a single speaker coming out here of the right speaker grid. So all in all, I have to say the phone is kind of heavy. I think it weighs around 145 grams, 150 grams or something like that. And on the right side of the frame we have the power button and the volume rocker, so feels pretty tight and the buttons are really good to press. What absolutely sucks is the fingerprint scanner, which I deactivate because you can also use it to swipe between the pages there. And if you hold your smartphone, I'm always swiping pages. I got so mad I almost wanted to smash the smartphone. Alright, so here we also have a single LED flash on the back side, which is very bright and yeah, not the brightest one, but really okay. Camera sticks out of the device, so make it look like, wow, it's a huge, good camera, but nope. We also have here another microphone, which you can see right over here, so it's a dual microphone for noise cancellation, all along with a 3.5mm headphone jack at the top. So ladies and gentlemen, that's the smartphone from the outside. I think this display is really beautiful, but the downside is, there are no gestures. On the Nubia C9 you could use the edges of the display to make something which creates value, but here it's just looking good without any additional value. You guys know I'm always honest, so I also want to mention something, and this phone got incredibly hot when I charged it and used it as a hotspot. For sure, every smartphone gets hot because hotspot is draining a lot of power. Then you charge it, you are actually putting power into the smartphone, so the heat dissipation is a lot. But then I also turned off the hotspot and it got really hot. You can see the temperatures here over 70 degrees, and I could barely touch it right over here. So this was the hottest point measured with the IR thermometer, and honestly I have to say this is a no-go on smartphones. So no other smartphone I have here in my room gets so hot while hotspot and charging or just while charging. This is definitely something which should be fixed. Alright guys, so we're now here on the smartphone, let's check it out together. So this one here is the launcher, the home screen. As you can see, this phone is really snappy. It comes with 3 gigs of RAM, the octa-core processor, so no problem at all. Regarding the edges, so you can also swipe over them, so you will definitely get used to them. Alright, so here you can see the softer buttons, so you can also hide them if you want to, and there you go, they're gone. And to bring them back, you just have to swipe up and boom, they're here. We have a menu button, home button and back button, and let me quickly show you here the settings. So let's go. We're in here and let's go all the way down, and there we can see it's running Android 6 Marshmallow. And yeah, those crazy guys from Elephone, they have somehow killed the game, so they have hacked that Android bug game so you cannot die. Pretty funny actually. So let's go back and let's talk about all the features. Wireless OTAs are working, so I've got 2 OTAs right now, so to update it. Here at the top we have Wi-Fi, and as you can see it finds my office network, my other router, and we have here the other routers from my neighbor. So Wi-Fi is not too bad at all, so not the best one I've seen, but pretty stable and works really nice. So I've used it to tether, to live stream, no problem at all. So Bluetooth, there we go, Bluetooth is working, can't say anything bad about it. And well, we have, I forgot to mention, a dual SIM card slots, and you can also put in micro SD cards if you want to. So this is also supported, but then you will lose 1 SIM card slot. Pretty new is that they have replaced the stock launcher with the Ele launcher, but well, if you don't like it, you don't have to use it. We have the display, supports mirror vision, and the display is, by the way, also really bright. So nothing to say about the display. It's actually a really nice looking display, maybe a bit oversaturated, but comes down to personal preference. We have smart gestures like screen on gesture and those things, 3-finger screenshot, and we also have that smart wake up, but I have not found really the option to deactivate the fingerprint, which is continuously swiping between my home pages. I hate it. So let's go and let's have a look at the rest. So we have the apps, and for instance, I'm not really sure where this is. Yeah, sorry, let me go back. We have storage and USB, here it is, and here we have 2 GB used of 12 GB, so you get around 12 GB out of the 16 total memory. We have here the battery, and so far as I can say, it really comes down to personal usage, however you use it, but for me as a hard Android user, it's around a day, 4 hours on screen time. So here we have memory, and here you can see, for instance, the average memory use, which is around 50 to 60%, which is quite common, so nothing bad, nothing super optimized. And it's multi-language, so I can quickly show you that. And as you can see, most languages are in there. It's not the full Android language pack, so some things are missing or not properly translated, but you have to deal with that if you buy a Chinaphone. It's always like that. Alright, so this is how it works. Had to activate roaming to get a connection here, but this is because of my provider. And here you can see the home screen, very smooth device. At the top here, we can swipe down. Oh, holy crap, what's going on today? And to get the Android status bar. And as you can see, display is not even maximum brightness, so it's really good. Here we have the LED flash, really hurts my eyes, but it's not a dual tone or anything, and it's a really white, not daylight, really, it's, very cold white, so far as I can see. Then, let's have a look at the camera, because I'm not so super happy with it. The rear camera takes ages, so the shutter, it's okay, that was quite fast, probably because there's a lot of light, but basically if there's not enough of light, then it takes really a lot of time, a couple of seconds to take a picture, and this is not really satisfying. Here you can see the front-facing camera, so let's do it in landscape. Hello guys, it could be a bit more wide angle. Now it's nice because I'm holding it 1 arm length, which is around 60 centimeters away from me. That's okay, so I can get myself in the picture, but it could be more wide angle. Colors looking a bit washed out, also if you take a selfie, cheese. And the colors on the display a bit oversaturated. Now regarding the brightness, you will also see it on the screen, and regarding the sharpness, it looks actually quite good, but as you can see here on the display, for instance, the green tones are really too much saturated. And this is just something I see here right now at the first look, but really comes down to personal preference. It's 30 megapixels, and on the front side we have 4 megapixels in full screen, but if you go to 4 to 3, so native size, then you get here 5 megapixels, so the full megapixels of the sensor. Let's switch here to the rear camera, and there we go. Here in the settings we have actually the same, so we have 30 megapixels in 4 to 3, and in full screen it drops down to 9.5. So most of the sample pictures are taken 4 to 3, and we have the usual stuff. So we have electronic image stabilization, noise reduction, microphone, blah blah blah. Video quality was set to fine during all the tests. Alright, sample pictures also down below in the description and in the video. So that was the camera, front-facing camera, okay, could have more tastier colors and a bit more wide angle. Rear camera slow, and under daylight conditions it's okay, but if you have low light conditions it's super laggy and yeah, not really so super nice. As always, speaker test on YouTube. Now I know not the perfect conditions, but well, I do it on all the smartphones the same way, so I can a bit compare them. So no copyright sounds, maximum volume, and speaker sounds kind of flat. You will also hear test recording with a zoom just in a second, and yeah, so not really loud, overseas a bit at maximum volume and sounds a bit flat, but just hear for yourself. The fingerprint scanner works really well. So if you lock your device with your power button, and then you just put your finger on the fingerprint scanner, it unlocks immediately. So as you can see, this is not going to work without a pattern or without a fingerprint, but all you have to do from the lock screen is just tap and it unlocks. And the fingerprint scanner is pretty fast, could be even a little bit more faster, but I would say it's perfect timing for me and also very accurate. There's also another thing you can do with the fingerprint scanner, and this is, for instance, trigger the camera and also swipe between pages, but this is really annoying. Now, triggering the camera could be useful for selfies, but well, that's it. That's the fingerprint scanner on the S3. So the gaming performance on the Elephone S3 is quite okay. I'm playing here Asphalt 8 with, nice looking screen, as you can see right over here. Sometimes FPS drops while it's the mid-range octa-core processor with 1.3 GHz, not the best GPU, but as you can see it runs most of the games fine. There is no stuttering like I've experienced on a lot of newer phones, like huge FPS drops, but well, sometimes if there's a lot of stuff going on in the game, you will experience that it's not that smooth, but it can run the games definitely. Well guys, it's also possible to find a fix inside, but it takes a lot of time outdoors. Also the GPS signal was not really the best, so I used it with Tim because my car actually was burning down. And as you can see right over here, indoors we just get barely a fix. Outdoors, yeah, if you have good weather conditions it's okay, but not really the best GPS I've seen on a Chinaphone. Alright guys, so the benchmarks are finished and it gets around 600 single-core score, 2800 multi-core, so not really impressive for that chipset. And in the AnTuTu benchmark, it first of all scored just 20k, I thought probably because of throttling, but now we reached around 37k and it's running Android 6 64 bits, as you can see right over here. So the cameras, everything is true, but yeah. Let's have a look here at the sensor box, and there you can see that only comes with the basic sensor. So this phone is not for virtual reality. There is no gyroscope inside, there's no magnetic sensor, so this is really a pain because those sensors are so cheap to implement, and this is a huge fail in my opinion. So guys, we're now here at the end of this test video of the Elephone S3. I hope you enjoyed it, and in my opinion it's a good looking smartphone, but really not the best smartphone or whatever people call it now. It has decent build quality and it's looking good. The Elephone P9000 was the same. It had decent build quality and it was looking good. But they were far away from being really good smartphones since, the heat problem, MTK chipset and such things, but still, software optimization could be better. There was an Ultra which totally changed the Ele launcher, and now it's looking better. It's not crashing that often, so actually it crashed only once for me, so it's running quite stable, but still, the edge gestures are not here, the fingerprint scanner for swiping, and it's ridiculous. I couldn't find to deactivate it right now, but then I found a way to deactivate it anyway. The software could be way better. The phone itself, it's not too bad. The camera is still very slow, even with the latest OTA, and it still gets pretty hot while charging. So the rest, it's fine, it runs good, it's looking perfect, so it's definitely something which you can put on your table and everybody is saying, what smartphone is that? It's looking totally fine. But more than that, It's an average smartphone for a very good price. So this was my review of the Elephone S3. You can find the link down below in the description to eFogShop, and I hope I see you again in my next videos, so make sure you subscribe that you don't miss anything. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Have a nice day and bye bye.